the Friday the 28th of July, and we are at our second cut. An interesting second cut it is, because unless you've been underneath a stone in the last 6 weeks, you'll understand how bad our weather is. And this morning we had no plans of making any second cut, today especially, but it gave a dry evening and it was a lovely morning. So I was talking to my contractor, we're actually booking him in for Monday or Tuesday if we got a break in the weather, just chancing it, that we might do something, but he suggested that we do it this evening, because this evening seemed to be better than Monday or Tuesday. Monday or Tuesday's giving rain. It's showing about 2 mil of rain, which isn't a lot for Monday or Tuesday, but the way our weather is, it seems to always rain more than it gives. We decided to go for it this evening. We stopped once, I changed my mind because it did rain, but then it cleared up, it dried up, stuff was lovely and dry on the ground. That's it, dry, but for the weather, not so bad, put it that way. And as good as we were going to get, put it a better way. We cut the backfield with no issue. Stuff was drying out lovely. We got the big hill here done. Most of it, 90% of it is mowed. We're flying. But when I came over, unless I brought bad luck with me, we got a hell of a shower. A hell of a soaking team of rain. And that has just turned it into, well, we'll not say a mess, but it has left it very, very mucky and sticky, and yeah, just put a real dampener on our spirits because it wet the grass that was cut. The baler's still going. He has to bale what's in front of him now because it's giving rain tomorrow, and it's giving rain from then onwards. No more dry days for another week or more. But it didn't give any rain, and that is the most annoying thing. It didn't give any rain, and that was the reason we went for it. But look, anyway, we're in it now. It's mowed. We're going to bale it. We're going to get it done. I will show you what the fields look like. They're mucky looking, without a doubt they are mucky, but I've seen a couple of fields done like this. It's only on the surface. It looks really bad now when we're at it, but a few people who are, oh, there's a wet spot there, sugar, yeah, but a few people who did get theirs done locally had fields that were in worse condition, and after a couple of showers of rain in a few days, that whole muckiness disappeared on the fields. It's just not nice to look at, especially in the last day or two of July. Horrible, horrible year. That's what it is. So what I'm doing is, I have one on the front here. I'll put a camera up in a minute and you'll get a look at it. And I have two behind me. So I'm taking 3 in at a time. The wee 5460 is just brilliant at doing bales. Again, the bales are heavy and it's taking nothing out of it. Great hydraulics. Just a lovely tractor for drawing bales. I'm not putting the drone up. I'm going to be under enough pressure. Probably be at this all night to the very small hours tonight, because I'm going to put every single bale in. Because tomorrow could be just a washout when I wake up. So it's just gone practically 1:30 at night, and we're taking in the last 6 bales, 193 bales in total. I know you probably can't see me here, but you can probably see in front of me. Look how good the LED lights is. I'm just gonna actually jump out here and show you. Like, look at the lights on that. I haven't even got the full lights on the bottom. Just simply incredible. But anyway, we have 193 bales. As I said, we probably would have had a lot less bales only for the rain that fell. Meant a real prick of the thing altogether. But look at, we have a lot of it done. We still have about 2 to 3 acres that wasn't mowed. Bits that were left at the bottom of this field. There's no point me turning the camera around because you're not going to see it. A bad corner in this field in particular. I'm in a few bits in the big hill that weren't done as well. I'll show you it tomorrow or the next day. Tomorrow I'm going to actually rest because it's been a hell of a week. Just serious with after the flooding and things, the amount of work that we had to do to try and just get things even up at my parents' house, just to get things back into order. It's just, yeah, it's been one of those weeks. But anyway, it's nice to get these bales done, even that they are wet or slightly wet. They're not too bad. This field here actually was grand. And this would be the field I'd be more worried about. It was mowed relatively dryish. You could walk through it, it didn't wet your feet, so it was dryish and there was no mess made. This field was quite good. That's it. We're just going to have a wee wander around the side here to make sure I haven't left any behind. Oh, that's them all. Will I get this gate closed if I dump these here? Yep, that's her. Doesn't matter, could hook it off anyway and close it for that matter. And I will do that eventually. I'll get another 8 bales or so in here. And I have room down below to put more bales, because we will have more bales. We'll have about another 50 bales by the time we've ever done. So we'll have a nice spade of bales for the year. I say we don't need a heap of bales this year, and we have enough. We probably won't have to make any third cut, which is a good thing because it's late now. That'll probably do us, because we have a hell of a bit of silage that I want to use up this year. I want to get it all finished out right to the back wall. So anyway, I'll not rant on anymore. I'm going to go home, get some sleep, talk to you in the morning. Alright, so it's the morning after the night before. Well, actually no, it's the same day. The girls were going to come over this morning and paint some of the bales for me, but it's raining now. It wasn't supposed to start raining until 12 o'clock, but it's raining already. So if you look in here now, you're going to see it looks quite brown. It does. Especially in the gap here where we're coming in at the whole time. I was picking a different pad every time trying to spread it out. But it was inevitable it was going to be quite mucky. The lower side there, if you can see, is a lot brighter. Not as mucky down there. Just around this area where we're coming in and out. And over the far side's not too bad either. The top of the hills tore up a wee bit. There's a section here where we put the shores. We didn't go in on that either because that wouldn't have had time to settle. It's just a little bit like putting patches on trousers. We done bits and pieces here and there, and that's just the way most farmers are doing it at the moment. Now, another thing you're going to ask is, why didn't I stack my bales? I stacked bales over here behind us where the calves is roaring here waiting for the mail last year, and I found they were the wettest bales that we had. Now, and that wasn't even a wet time. It just didn't seem to be as good as the ones that stood on their edge. I was told that the water can get out much easier if you stand them on their end, so that's the reason I done that. I could have still, and I did do a few of them up at the top there, I could have still sat bales on top of them. But I knew we'd have enough room and I didn't have to do it. If I need to do it, it's an option that's there, and I can always do it other times. But this time, because of everything that's happening, we just decided to leave it as it is. Anyway, that's them sorted. You can see Ruby is growing like mad. She'd be the dirtiest of the whole lot of them. For some reason, she's always covered in dung. This morning is the cleanest I've ever seen her in a long time. But she seems to love laying in behind them and they had dung on top of her. She's always been very, very dirty every time you come over. So maybe she's learning to clean up her act. She definitely is a character and a bully. Definitely a bully. Sun's out now. A few minutes later, blue skies. With my calves, one thing I do, which seems to always keep them going right, is I move the fence every second, third day, probably every second day. I give them a small amount, and rather than giving them a big lump at the one time. It's something I think works well for calves. I used to give them big areas with lovely lush grass, thinking I was doing something good, and calves never seemed to thrive that terrible well on it. They didn't eat enough meal and never seemed to just do as well. And then I've seen other farms where they were just moving the fence regular, small amounts regular, and calves seem to do much better. Just keep them hungry enough that they'll eat their meal. We're going to clean this mess up here, because I come up and down here with the Jeep at times to look cattle, and that old mud sticks to the wheels and everything. You carry it the whole way down the lane, it goes everywhere with you, so we'll tidy this up. That's the yard all cleaned. A lot better anyway. I took the roughness off it. There'll be enough rain this week. There'll not be a speck of dirt on it by the time this week's over with the amount of rain that's going to fall. Down here our pass is pretty dirty going down just to the double gates down below. I have the wrong shovel with me to do that job. I'll just bring over the ordinary shovel, not the flat one, and I'll scrape that off after. I'm going home to get a cup of coffee. What I'll do is I'll come back here if the sun ever does come out, or at least if it stops raining. So I'll come back and I'll put the drone up. I'll give you a shot of the whole fields. You'll get to see what we left behind, because we haven't got all our silage cut. But I'm no panic with that. I'm glad just to have what we've done in. And even if it's not really that dry, it's still in. And with the weather we're having this year, we'll take anything at this stage. Alright, so we're going into the gate into the big hill here now, and you'll get a better look at it from above. It's already starting to go green and starting to repair itself. It's a few days later now. But if you go up to the top of the hill here, you'll see the bits and pieces that we didn't get cut, just too slippy. But if you look along the hedge down the left hand side, you'll see a couple of deeper marks coming down through the bit that wasn't cut. Well, that's what the baler took off sideways down the field. And trust me, they weren't the only brown marks that was left after that one, but thankfully everyone's alright. It proved that we needed to stop. We had everything lifted that was mowed, which was great. But you can see even down here to the field that normally would be wet, it wasn't too bad at all. But there is a portion of it down there that's very steep that we probably will never get cut this year unless massive improvements come. That's just a better look at going in the hill. And then at the very end, my girls did make it over and got them all painted for me, and that just closed the whole thing down and was that chapter finished. Sometimes the drone, because you're looking straight down on something, doesn't show it just in the natural way you'd see it with your eye. But this is where we went in and out with the gap, and you can see this is where it got the most trampling because we were in and out of the gap, and there's quite a bit of weight on the tractor as well with 3 bales on it. But if we could have run our harrow and air seeder on that there, would have been a great job of that. I would have even considered doing the whole field and put some clover into it as well. But unfortunately this year it's just not a year for doing any kind of tractor work in fields, and summer just feels like it's gone. It feels like it's long gone. Now the reason why I want to show all my fields like that and show the mess and show the muck and things that was done is because a lot of farmers are going through a stressful time at the minute, and there's a lot of weight on farmers' shoulders. We're just not getting the work done that we should be getting done. We got a very bad spring where we couldn't do any work, and now we can't even say the heel end of the summer. From the second last week in June, it has never quit raining, and it just leaves jobs like this hard to do and nearly impossible to do. And I know there's a huge amount of people who have no second cut around when we have no second cut done at all, and we were just very lucky. I wouldn't even say we were lucky. We made a wet second cut, and that's the simple fact of it. It rained on us when we were doing it. We have to just slog on. But know in the fact that if you're looking at your fields and you're feeling down, as a lot of farmers are, and stressed out, you're not on your own. Everybody's in the same ball. We'll all get through it, and we all have to get through it, and we have to go on. And then hopefully in a few years we'll say, God, you remember the summer of 23? And that is the way it is. My father talks about 1985 all the time, but the amount of rain there was then, I don't remember that. I was only a toddler, but at the same time, he said he has seen it all before, and no doubt we'll see it again. So just try not to worry too much about it. Try to take a break from it. If it's pouring rain outside, I've seen days where I've went out and walked in the wet, and the reason for that is sometimes I just hate sitting inside. I hate not being busy. I like being busy. But I know there's a lot of people like myself, when you're driven inside, you're looking out the window, you're twiddling your fingers and you feel like you should be out doing something because there's so much to bloody do to catch up. In reality, we know ourselves in our own head. We shouldn't be feeling like that. take some time off, sit down, have a cup of tea, watch a bit of television, watch a bit of YouTube or whatever. These things, they're outside, and as bad as they are, there's a lot worse that could be happening in your life, so look after yourself.